is soft, turn the key and cooler on.
Hello my loves, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. Welcome to my August monthly reset. They're gonna change things up a little bit this month. Well, not that much, but make this a little bit more like a vlog style. I'm gonna get ready while we talk through my goals. I'm still gonna be going over my budget, seeing how we went for July, how much we spent, how much we saved, what we invested, what we made. It was our first month using a credit card. And I feel like we learned a lot that will carry through to August, and then we're going to set up our new budget for August, which these videos are always such a reminder of how quickly the month flies by. I know I say that every single month, but I feel like I was literally just sitting here filming my July budget, and now here we are. I've got my under eye mask on, my coffee that I made. We ran out of milk, so it's strong to say the least. I've got it in my hang on, let's go math this mug. It just felt fitting for this kind of video. And yeah, we're gonna get into it. I thought I would start off by going over my August goals whilst I get ready. I don't know, there's just something about like getting ready, doing my makeup, and also talking through my goals, reflecting on the previous month that just feels, it just feels right, you know? These are so nice and so cooling, but why when you take them off, they feel like literal slugs? It grosses me. Whoa! I've got my beautiful makeup bag here. I got this from a market when I was in Sydney. I've had so many questions about it. It's from the brand Lady Jane Made. They have an Instagram and an Etsy store if anyone's interested. I didn't set any goals for July, so I have nothing to review in that department. I did a mid-year reset instead, and I looked at all of our annual goals just to see how we're tracking. I say like me and you. It really does feel like a team effort. So yeah, I have nothing to reflect on in terms of goals because I didn't really set any, but I thought I would go through the prompts on here just to check in. So first one is, what have I done well this month? That is a great question. I guess like paying off our car loan would be a first one. I know I keep harping on about this, but it really is such, I don't want to say pivotal moment because that just feels a little dramatic, but it's a big moment, you know? I set us the goal back in March to have our car loan fully paid off by my 28th birthday, which is in October. And I feel like it's one thing to say that and set that goal, but to actually do it is another. And I mean, there's no denying that my income has increased, which has definitely helped. Obviously, the more money you make, the more money you're going to be able to put towards debt. Like that is a huge advantage. But it does also take like an element of self-control. That money is coming in. It would be so easy to give into lifestyle creep and just spend that money because it's there, it's ours, we've made it. I even look back to my January budget when I was still working my part-time job, and even though our income is very different, our expenses are very similar, which is really nice to see, to know that we're making the most of that extra money that we're making now. Next prompt is, what can I do to improve next month? Oh my goodness. How much time have you got? I am always looking for ways to improve personally. Not in like a, I constantly need to be doing more kind of like toxic hustle culture way, but I just feel like as humans, like we're naturally evolving, we're naturally changing, and I just want to be conscious about like the person I'm becoming. I'm always looking for ways to be a better friend, be a better wife, be a better daughter, be better with my finances, look after my mental health, my physical health. Always looking for ways to improve, and by no means am I perfect. But what am I trying to improve this next month? Probably just like our general spending. I have noticed it's a little bit higher. We did have a much higher income month this month, so we're not having to compromise on our financial goals, but I just want to be mindful of that. I think a lot of it relates to having a credit card now, not seeing that money physically leaving our account until the end of the month. So definitely want to be mindful of that. Am I happy with my results this month? I mean, I didn't set any goals for July, so I feel like I can't really speak on that, but overall, I feel like I had a really good month. I'm feeling very balanced and just like rejuvenated. I came back from my Brisbane and Gold Coast trip last week, and I just felt the best I felt in a very long time. I talked more about this in this week's vlog, but yeah, I did not realize how badly I needed that trip until I was there, and I was just by myself with my own thoughts, just processing everything that has happened over the last few months. I have been so lucky to be surrounded by so much support with my friends and with my family, but at the end of the day, it's like my thing to process and to like work through myself. There's only so much the people around me can do, and it is a very like lonely experience. I mean, the only one that really understands is Nick, and even then, like obviously he understands, and he is like going through his own journey and like working through that himself in his own way. But we all have such individual experiences, and everything that happened to me physically, which I feel like just comes with a whole other set of things to work through. So yeah, I'm feeling really good. I am feeling very just zen very zen, and I feel like I'm coming back into myself, or like this new version of myself, which is a really nice feeling. I don't know if it's like coming through on the vlogs or in videos or whatever. I mean, not that it really matters, but I'm just really happy with where I'm at, and yeah, feeling good. And finishing off with 3 things I'm grateful for this month. I feel like I say the same 3 every single month, but my husband, and just like having a supportive and understanding husband that encourages me to do whatever I want. I never feel trapped in my relationship. I feel uplifted and supported and like encouraged to do whatever I want, and kind of, sounds so cliche, but like follow my dreams, live my best life. And hopefully I did the same for him. He's just very understanding and very supportive with everything I do. He tells me every single day how I'm gonna cry, how proud of me he is. And I just feel like the luckiest girl in the world. Oh my god, I did not expect to cry. I also think the last few months, as terrible as they've been, I think they've really brought us even closer together. I always felt very close in our marriage, but I think really testing and challenging times really highlight how lucky you are to have each other, and having someone to lean on and work through things together. It's really special. So my husband, my job, my work, this month was my highest income month yet, which is crazy. And yeah, I just feel so lucky to call this my job, and it affording me these amazing opportunities, working with some incredible brands and being able to travel and have the flexibility in my routine and in my life. And yeah, also from a financial standpoint, being able to achieve things that I never thought possible. And third thing I'm grateful for is travel, and just the ability to travel. It has been such a escape for me recently, and I love it. I love exploring different cities and meeting different people. It's just so fun. And I love that even though I don't work as a travel agent anymore, travel is still a very important part of my job and my life. Okay, now for my August goals. As always, I've got them broken up into categories. So starting off with my personal goals. First one is to do no phone for the first hour of every day. I've started loosely implementing this into my everyday morning routine, and it has been the biggest game changer. I notice it so much more on the days that I don't do this. I just struggle to get into a good headspace. Definitely want to implement that every single day. I also want to read 2 books. I read 2 last month. I'd love to read 2 more again in August. Also need a new passport. I'm off to Europe in like less than 3 months, and my passport is nearing expiration. So I need to sort that out before I leave. And then also go on 2 date nights, one inside, one outside of the house. Health and wellness, keeping it super simple this month. I just want to do Pilates 2 to 3 times a week. I've been averaging about 2 times a week, which seems to work well with my schedule. I would eventually love to increase it to 3, but we'll see how we go. And then for financial goals, now that we're consumer debt free, we're focusing on our good debt, which I had a few comments on some of my content about being debt free and not specifying that it was consumer debt free. But I also, like, I've never hidden the fact that we have a mortgage, and I've always made it clear that we're working towards being debt free, but like consumer debt free. The definition I've commonly seen for consumer debt, especially in the personal finance space, is debt that is like bad debt. So your personal loans, your car loans, your credit card debt that is from consumables or like is a depreciating asset. Like our car is a depreciating asset, whereas our house, even though we have a mortgage, is usually an appreciating asset, and it is definitely in our case. So yes, our next big focus now that we're consumer debt free is to put that extra money towards our mortgage. I haven't really set like a timeline. I think I want to do a whole separate video about our debt free journey and our plans with being debt free and paying off that mortgage. At the moment, honestly, it just seems so far off. Like it's such a huge amount of money that it doesn't feel within reach. But I really need to run the numbers and like work out if we consistently pay off an extra chunk of money every single month, like how is this going to look for us in the long term? Will we be debt free by 35 or 40? I would really love to see what that looks like. But for right now, I set the goal to have paid off an extra $20,000 by the end of this year. So with that in mind, my August goal is to pay off an extra $3,500 of our mortgage. Also want to invest at least $500 and also do a no spend week, which I'll probably vlog if you guys want to see that. For business goals, just post 3 times a week on Instagram and TikTok, post 7 times across the month on YouTube, and then also implement an admin day once per week. I feel like this is the one part of my work routine that is really missing. I am either filming or editing or responding to emails, which I guess is kind of like admin, but there's other stuff like behind the scenes stuff, especially with like the numbers, taxes, all of that fun administration stuff that I often neglect, and it'll get to the end of the week and then I'm like, oh, it's the weekend, I'll do that next week, and then I'm busy filming and creating content. So I really, need to implement one day to just get it done. One day per week. And then for house stuff, I want to do our office makeover this month. I just got some posters printed off for some wall art, and obviously I'll vlog all of that for you guys. So yeah, those are all my goals for August. Nothing crazy. I've also added my daily habits. I've tried to simplify these. I've been guilty in the past of trying to make a daily habit out of everything. I'm like, wake up, drink water, take my vitamins, like things that I do anyway. Like I don't need to be reminded or track it, even though it is motivating, and I'll often do that with my to-do list. I'll be like, wake up, get ready, which might seem stupid, but it is motivating being able to tick something off that is so easy and it's just like second nature. I don't feel like I need to do that with my daily habit tracker. So I've tried to simplify it a little bit more. No phone for the first hour of the day so I can track that for my goals. Pilates, I just want to see when I go and how often. Upload on YouTube just so I can track when I'm posting, post on Instagram, post on TikTok, read, and then no spend day just to see how often we're having those. So yeah, that is August in a nutshell. Nothing too crazy. Oh my God, I completely forgot I was meant to be doing my makeup. Okay, well, I'm gonna finish off and then we'll get into the budgeting. Okay, makeup is all done. Apparently I'm really bad at multitasking. Anyway, let's go over our July budget. This is one of my favorite parts about doing my monthly reset. It's just such a good opportunity to reflect and celebrate, garner some motivation, and also just identify different areas and trends with our spending and what we do with our money. I honestly think reflecting and looking back on your budget is the most important part. Let's talk about July. So income wise, we had an incredible month. I think I mentioned before, it was my highest income month ever. This is definitely not a typical month. I just got a lot of brand payments come through at the same time. So yay. It was also a 3 paycheck month for Nick as well. In terms of bills, everything was standard, nothing out of the ordinary. Same with subscriptions. I can take that one off. I also added Paramount Plus as a subscription if you watch my mid-year reset. And then for our expenses, there's a lot of red going on here, which is a little alarming at first glance, but I did also make more than I expected, so it kind of balanced out. Groceries, we spent $626.49, so we're $75 over. I forgot to factor in that it was a 5 Monday month, if that makes sense. Like we always go food shopping on a Monday. There was 5 of them this month, so that makes sense. Petrol, we spent $185.41. That's fine. We spent $421.27 on home, $330 on health. That was for my Pilates class. I do also have a dentist appointment tomorrow, so I'll have to update this then. We spent $200 on coffee, $454.67 on eating out, which is over double what we budgeted. I don't really have an explanation for that, honestly. We had one expensive meal, which was like $150 for my mum's birthday. Even with that being said, we were still over budget. So yeah, look, can't really, I mean, yeah, maybe $200 for a whole month between 2 people is just too little. I don't know. I continually go over this one, so like I should probably be a little bit more realistic with myself. Date night, we spent $52.37. We spent $230 on Mabel, so we're a little bit over. We got new dog food for her and some more bully sticks and also a brush because her hair is getting so Nossie Nora. She just cannot stay out of the water. It's really sweet and I love that she loves the beach so much, but it is kind of annoying. And because she's swimming so much, running around so much, her hair, especially her ears, get really knotty. So I bought a new special brush to help manage that. We're trying to keep her coat a little bit longer as well because it is the middle of winter. And I think she looks really cute with long hair, her little tuft. Anyway, no one cares about my dog's hair. Entertainment, we didn't spend any money. Gifts, we spent $190.94. That was for my mum's birthday, and also our friends got engaged. Books, I spent $12.99. Takeaway, we're a little bit over, but a lot better than last month. Rideshare, we spent $76.39. Nothing on Metro. $44 on clothing. I got Nick a hat from Rod and Gun because I saw it and I thought of him. Miscellaneous, we were almost $500 over this month. $490 of that was for our credit card annual fees, which $200 of that will get back as like cash back. So I think it works out to be like $290, which is still high for like credit card fees, but obviously did my due diligence choosing a card that worked best for us. And it's a frequent flyer platinum card. So we get like, I think it's 1 frequent flyer point per dollar that we spend. And then they had like a sign up bonus. If you spend $5,000 in the first 3 months, get another 90,000 frequent flyer points. So worth it for us. And yeah, we've just been chucking everything on our credit card, which has led to us being over budget by $826, which if we take out the credit card fee, we're only like $350 over budget. So not too bad. Could be better, could be worse. Literally me every single month trying to justify myself. In terms of savings this month, we invested $427.35, which might seem like a random amount and isn't quite $500, but it depends on how many units you buy. So I put that our maximum contribution would be $500, and then this is the amount that was actually invested. I always get questions about how I invest and how to get started with investing. I'm not a financial expert. Investing is one area that I do not feel comfortable nor qualified to talk about. There are some really good creators on Instagram and TikTok, podcasts and whatnot that I'll have linked down below. Tash Invests on Instagram actually just came out with a book called How to Not Work Forever. And this is all about how to get started with investing. She goes through different case studies. Super, super cool. I'm still kind of working my way through this just to build on my own knowledge. Also, She's on the Money has tons of different podcasts. They also have a book. Victoria Devine has a book all on investing. So yeah, I'll have all that information down below if anyone is interested in ETFs, investing, how to get started, all of that stuff. And then business-wise, I put $4,000 back into my business savings account for various business expenses. And then because it was a high income month, we put $6,705 towards our mortgage for one part of it, and then the usual repayment of $1,840 on the other half. Also paid off our car loans. That was $1,934.49 this month. So we can completely eliminate this from our August budget, which is so exciting. So all in all this month, $10,479.49 went towards debt payoff, which is a lot of money, but really cool to see. At the moment, with the way our home loan is structured, we have two separate loans because we built our house. We do have an offset account set up, which houses our emergency funds and just like any extra money. Honestly, now that we are using a credit card, we're keeping as much money in our offset account for as long as possible, and then just paying off our credit card in full at the end of the month. And with our extra mortgage repayments, we put them directly on our loan rather than keeping them in our offset account. Not for any particular reason other than the fact that I wanted to see that loan amount reduce. I feel like it's been very stagnant for a very long time because we are paying so much in interest every month. Even though we're paying so much towards our mortgage, the actual loan amount remaining is not really moving. So really just like for our own personal motivation, not for any other particular reason, like it doesn't really affect anything whether we pay the mortgage directly or keep it in our offset account. Interest wise, it's going to be very similar. I think just paying it off the loan directly will deter us from touching the money, and just for extra motivation, it's nice to see that number going down, but I'm sure we won't do it that way forever. That's just kind of what we're doing right now. Overall this month, 50.2% of our money went towards debt, which is amazing. 21.2% went towards savings, 22.8% towards expenses, which even though it was a higher spend month, 22.8% is very on par with what we would normally spend. So I'm happy with that. And 5.3% towards bills. Our highest spend day was by far July 17th. And I was like, oh my God, how do we spend $5,500, almost $6,000? But July 17th was a payday. And so we were just making a lot of transfers. We only spent $325 on groceries, just picking up something, $27 on date night, $334 on travel, that was for an Airbnb, $1,269 I kept in my business account, $427.35 for our ETFs, and then just a lot of mortgage payments and our cleaners, which is $137.50. Our biggest purchase this month were flights to Melbourne. We spent $423 on those, and our credit card fees, which were $490. Eating out, our most expensive meal was my mum's birthday meal at Sidewood. That was $140. Actually would have been more expensive if my parents paid for drinks, which is so lovely of them. And then my best purchase this month, I would have to say probably the eye patches that I was wearing at the beginning of the video, the gold under eye patches. I actually got some from another company that I'm not going to name. I looked on the website, they're literally $35 for a pack. I was like, absolutely not. Did some Googling, found a 30 pack for $15. So straight in my basket. I've been keeping them in my fridge. Such a nice way to start the day. So yeah, that was July. Overall, an incredible month. Obviously, it was so helpful that it was our highest income month ever, but I'm also really proud of how we managed that money and what we did with that money, especially with our debt payoff and contributing extra towards our mortgage. I actually ran the numbers. You know me, love running numbers, just to see how much that extra repayment that we made this month would take off the life of our loan. The website's called mortgage.monster. So our extra repayment this month was $4,622. You can add in any extra repayments, whatever's sitting in your offset account as well. I've just left it at $0 for now, even though we do have our emergency fund in there, just because I wanted to see the exact numbers. But just with that once off payment, which is like a decent amount of money, but from that once off payment, we've reduced our mortgage by $25,383 in the long term. Approximately, obviously it will depend on interest rates, saving us a total of $20,761 and reducing the duration of our mortgage by 6 months. 6 months. That's wild. I'm so glad I found this website. So motivating. Anyway, I could go on about this all the time. Let's budget for August. So income wise, we now know what Nick's new paycheck is. It's 2,837 per fortnight. And for my business income, I think it'll be around $9,500 this month after taxes and deductions. I don't know if you guys saw, but in my July budget, I added Nick's next paycheck prematurely because we still have a couple days left of July, but just for like budgeting purposes, that actually hasn't hit our account quite yet. So after our credit card is paid off, we'll have $2,089.99, which will carry over into August. I'm just gonna copy and paste our bills as per usual. And same with subscriptions. For now, I'm gonna put the minimum repayments on our mortgage and then we'll update these after. So 1,840 and I think it's 2,083 from memory. Let's have a look. Yeah, 2,083. Nothing for car loan because that is fully paid off, which is gonna free up so much room in our budget. Then for our variable expenses, I'm gonna budget $550 for groceries. That's typically what we spend unless it's a 5 Monday kind of month. Usually we can stick to $550 or around that. Petrol, I'm gonna budget $250, I wanna say. I'm gonna go $350 for home. Health, I'm not sure if I'm gonna buy another Pilates pack this month, but I'll just say $330 just in case. Social, 200. Coffee, I'm gonna give us 175 between us. Eating out, I'm gonna say 300. Date night, 50. Mabel shouldn't need a single darn thing, but we'll say 50 just in case. Entertainment, I don't think we need anything. Actually, no, I do want to go to the movies, so maybe we'll say $35 for that, or 40 actually in this economy. We do have a couple birthdays this month. We'll say 150 for gifts. Books, 30. Alcohol, 100, because we went quite over that last month. Takeaway, we did pretty good last month, so I'm gonna say 170. Again, rideshare, 50. 10 for metro. I'm kind of in need of some basics, so I'm gonna say 150 for clothing. I don't need anything for beauty, so we'll leave that at 0. Miscellaneous, I always keep around 50 unless credit card fees are due. And travel, I do need a new passport, so I think that's like $400. Cool, so that leaves us with $6,643.67 plus the $2,089 left to budget. I'm gonna put $1,000 in ETFs. I'm gonna keep 3,000 in my business account, and then I'm just gonna put the rest on the mortgage, which will work out to be 6,816.66. Which, if we can do that again this month, that'll be another 4,733 plus our already 4,622. So that'll mean we shave off 1 year from our home loan and save a total of $41,000 if we make that extra contribution. Okay, cool. Well, that was like surprisingly easy. Oh, you know what I am forgetting? We're going to Melbourne this month, so that needs to go under travel expenses. So I'm going to change this to 400 to 1,200 between us. And we'll take this off the mortgage. Okay, now that is really an every dollar budget. I'm gonna close this off now before I start adding anything else. That was like the easiest budget ever, honestly. And it doesn't have to be hard. Like the more you do it and the more in tune you are with your finances and how you spend money, the easier it becomes. Like I've been doing this consistently for like 3 years now, and now I just kind of know like $550 for groceries. There'll sometimes be an expense that's a bit of an outlier or something that comes up unexpectedly, but it's all about, you know, pivoting. Pivot! Anyway, I'm gonna skedaddle because I have a Pilates class. Me and my headband, I might have to take this off shortly. I forgot I was wearing this. But thank you guys so much for resetting with me for August. I would love to know in the comments what you guys are working on in the month of August, what some of your goals are. Also follow me over on my Instagram and TikTok if you want to see how I go with my budget this month. I do a lot of what I spend in a week's budget breakdowns, payday routines. So if that's your jam, definitely follow me over there. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you very, very soon for another video. Bye guys.